Hello, and welcome back. I'm here once again in the grow room. Today's video, I wanted to really make a video on, hang on, this thing is, there we go. Why pain is more valuable than gold. Let's get into this. Let's get deep here. First of all, in order to understand what I'm talking about, we have to understand where value comes from. The idea of what makes what valuable. And first of all, again, we need to understand that value is created by man. Here, Navi wants to say hi. Hi, hello everyone. This is Navi. She's our newest kitty. We've had her for about a couple of years, maybe. So the idea of what is valuable and how valuable it is completely created by man. For a few reasons. People purchase things. People use a type of currency in order to buy things. It's what we do today. We accumulate money and we buy things. And the more valuable something is, the more money we need to buy it. Very simple. Everyone's with me so far. Now, if something you want to buy, if you want to purchase an item on this planet and there's very little of it, but you have an enormous amount of money, then there's a chance you can buy all of it. So the idea of value was created in order to make sure that there would be enough to go around and you could have some sort of sustainability in certain things in life. So for example, gold. There's not that much gold in the earth, even though there is, but it's not easy to get out. It becomes difficult to extract, which also increases the value of things. The amount of energy required to produce something and how rare something is determines its value. So now that we understand that, man created this idea of value. Because without this idea, a flower could be just as valuable as the biggest piece of gold that exists. And why? We could argue that a flower is alive and life is more valuable. It's all intellectual agreement. And depending on what it is that we want to achieve with these ideas. So, pain. And if you're going through some right now, I'm sending you some strength. Tons of strength. Tons of love. Here's a big hug. You might need it. You might need a big hug. I've had my share of pain. And according to the description we just spoke of a minute ago, it does not fit because in today's world there seems to be an awful lot of pain. It seems everyone knows someone that's on some kind of medication for depression, anxiety, and all these mental illnesses that are man-generated, man-perpetuated, but that's another video. Pain has the ability, the power, the potential to have you realize the truth of who you are at its deepest core, at its most value, at its highest potential. The value of pain goes on so many different levels. Let's say someone asks you to buy your body right now. That means they could do whatever they want with it. They want to kill you, cut an arm off, whatever, it's up to them. It's their body. They can do whatever they want. And they offer you the largest piece of gold that exists. Biggest piece of gold. Does that make sense? Would you take that deal? I suppose it depends on the person and what they want to do with your body. But it's a very high risk if there's a chance they could kill you and use it for science or whatever. Then what is that, what value does that gold have for you then? So pain, where does pain fit in what I'm talking about here? You have the ability to feel pain physically and emotionally. Let's speak physically. And there is a disease that you've seen, you might have, if not, check it out on the internet, where some people are born without the ability to feel pain. And there's this one child, she runs into things. You can see the video on YouTube. It's sad from my perspective, for probably most people that would watch it. She bumps into the corner of a table running full speed and doesn't feel a thing and laughs. And it almost seems like it would be fun, right? But she's missing an eye. She, from if I remember correctly, pulled her eye out, or used the tool to... How much gold would it cost for me to buy your eye? One of them. And without pain, that child doesn't have the ability to realize the value of her eye, the value of her body. And this is only on the physical level. If you put your hand over a fire, you don't even need to look. You could be asleep, and as soon as your body feels that fire, suddenly you're waking up and you can save your life. Suddenly the value of pain is becoming evident now, at least physically. So I mentioned at its highest potential, pain has the ability for you to realize yourself. And as we know, we've been hurt many times throughout our lives. Cut, physically I'm speaking, bumps and bruises, especially when we're growing up. And we tend to carry a scar afterwards, but the pain can be pretty short-lived. You might cut your finger, you feel the pain for, I don't know, depending on the person. For me, it might be a minute or two. You put a Band-Aid on that and you forget it. Set it and forget it. Okay? But emotional pain, some instant happened, something happened to you, incident happened, as a child that stayed with you for your whole life, or someone who may be very sensitive to heartbreak keeps getting their heart broken, which can be, in my experience as well, some of the most crushing pain. It changes your character. That type of pain has the potential to have a destructive effect in your life as well. At its negative, you may put up barriers and prevent yourself from opening up to love to others. But when you've had enough, when you've experienced a total meltdown of everything you've seen to be important in your life, and you are emotionally destroyed. Within that very moment, a door opens. Two doors open, actually, depending on how severe the pain is. If the pain is not at its most severe, two doors open. One to hide and run away and become harder, push people away, and the other one to do what's right for yourself and to start opening up your heart to love again. If you've ever seen any videos from Eckhart Tolle, I think it's Eckhart Tolle. He wrote the book The Power of Now and A New Earth and some others, but those are his most popular videos or books. He talks about his experience when he had his spiritual awakening. I can also make a video, if you like, on my experience and my spiritual awakening. I can tell you from a personal experience, it came after the deepest of pain. And in his story, it's the same. When pain hits the bottom, and in English we call this a rock bottom. When a person hits rock bottom, the type of pain you're going to feel at that moment has a chance to crack open the shell of your hard ego, of the personality that you created, and force you to drop all of the false within you. And something happens that is beyond, I'm going to say beyond this world. It's really not beyond this world because it's a potential within every one of us. It is well within our grasp. We were just not taught this, and most people think it's hocus pocus or whatever, that it's not real, that it's religious stuff and it doesn't actually work. Not saying that religion is anything, worth getting into. That's another video. But when you hit rock bottom, sometimes your shell will crack. It's not something that you do. It just happens. And the perception of everything you've experienced in your life before that moment completely changes. In an instant, you're reborn. In an instant, you're not the same you were anymore. In an instant, you have all the power in the world available to you. In an instant, miracles after miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle is laid before you in a non-stop domino effect, where you become greater, 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 and not greater in a comparative sense compared to anybody else. Greater is in a factual sense. You become enlightened. Enlightenment, again, is another video. And is the most valuable, the most precious potential within every single human on this planet. And pain has the ability to crack the shell of the ego and have this experience burst forth for us. And this is why pain is infinitely more valuable than gold, because you can't buy happiness with gold. You can only buy temporary relief of the pain you're hiding under the rug. That's the most gold can ever do for you. Don't shy away from your pain in life. Bring your awareness to it. There will be many layers to this pain. and some of it you will not be able to look at, and that is okay. Shine the light of your awareness on as much of it as you can. Allow yourself to feel it as deeply as you can, because when you have your hand on top of a fire without your action, without your thinking about it, I guarantee your hand is going to just away. But if you somehow numb yourself to your own pain in the world, then you never know, you might end up being one of those, like those children who pull their eyes out without realizing. You might be doing, and I guarantee you're doing yourself a million times more damage by hiding and running from your pain than looking at it. Wherever you are around the world, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Whatever time it is, thank you. I appreciate you infinitely. Thank you so much. Peace.